Hello, my little bookworms. Welcome back to the channel. So today we're diving into book 3 of Katie Kirby's wonderfully chaotic series, The Mega Complicated Crushes of Lottie Brooks. Now, if you've been here for my other Lottie reviews, you know exactly what you're in for. Awkwardness, drama, hilarious catastrophes, and a lot of me cringing on Lottie's behalf. This book, it turns the chaos dial up to 11 spoilers ahead, so buckle in. So where do we find Lottie this time? Well, she's still the same awkward, well-meaning, slightly dramatic girl we've come to love. But now she's in full-on crush mode. Daniel is very much still the apple of her eye, but this is middle school. Crushes aren't just crushes, they're complicated, confusing, and often completely disastrous. Katie Kirby captures this stage of life perfectly. Those little moments, a text that takes too long to come through, a smile that could mean everything, or total radio silence that feels like the end of the world. That's what this whole book thrives on. So, let's talk, boys. First, there is Daniel. Sweet, friendly, cute, and utterly confusing for Lottie. She spends half the book trying to figure out what he really thinks of her, and of course, she overanalyzes everything. And then there is Sam. He enters the picture. He's new, he's different, he's kind of funny, and suddenly Lottie doesn't know what to do with her feelings. This is where the mega complicated part of the title really starts to make sense. I love how Kirby writes these boys not as perfect dreamboats, but as actual kids who sometimes say silly things, sometimes get things wrong, and sometimes leave poor Lottie in absolute meltdown mode. It feels authentic, and it makes Lottie's panic even funnier. One of my favorite moments was the Valentine's Day fiasco. Okay, this is the moment. Lottie writes a Valentine's card, and of course, it all goes downhill. It's like she poured her soul into this grand romantic gesture, only for it to backfire in the most spectacular way. Wrong person, wrong reaction, wrong everything. I was laughing out loud, but also hiding behind my hands in secondhand embarrassment. This is the perfect example of how Katie Kirby nails the comedy of middle school life. Tiny things feel huge, and huge things are just total train wrecks. Peak cringe moments. Lottie trying to flirt, which, let's be honest, is more like her tripping over her own shoelaces in public. Overthinking every single text. Accidentally saying the wrong thing at the worst possible time. Imagining elaborate romantic scenarios that immediately collapse in reality. It's all painfully real, but also endlessly funny. One of my favorite things about this book is how Kirby balances crush drama with friendship drama. Because let's face it, when you're in middle school, sometimes your crush life takes over and your friends are left wondering what on earth you're doing. Lottie has moments where she doesn't handle her friendships perfectly, and I like that Kirby lets her be messy. It's a reminder that part of growing up is learning how to juggle friends, feelings, and your own identity. And you're not always going to get it right. As funny as this book is, it's also pretty heartfelt. Lottie's so desperate to be liked and to do the right thing that she sometimes loses sight of herself. And by the end, the message is clear. Being honest and being yourself matters more than putting on an act. I think a lot of readers, especially younger ones, will connect with that. But honestly, even as an adult, I felt it too. Does Lottie suddenly transform into a confident, suave, crush-handling pro? Absolutely not. And thank goodness for that, because it wouldn't feel real. She's still clumsy, awkward, dramatic, but she's also a little wiser by the end. She learns that sometimes crushes don't work out the way you want them to, and sometimes you just have to laugh at the disaster and move forward. I'm giving this one 4 stars. It's easily one of my favorites of the Lottie Brooks series so far because it blends the cringe comedy with some heartfelt lessons. And that's my full review of the mega complicated crushes of Lottie Brooks. Honestly, I was laughing, I was cringing, and I was remembering every awkward crush I ever had. What about you guys? Are you Team Daniel or Team Sam? And did the Valentine's Day scene make you laugh or want to hide under a blanket? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.